What just happened? Princess Leonor and Prince Christian stun everyone at royal ceremony crown. They stood in royal splendor. The crowd held its breath. But then, everything changed. What you saw wasn't what everyone believed, until now. The moment she stepped forward, the hush in the hall cracked. Eyes dropped, jaws went slack. Princess Leonor, in uniform, resolute, faced her moment of reckoning. At her side, Prince Christian, poised, watchful. 2 heirs, 2 futures, and one monumental statement that stunned every spectator. They were meant to follow a script. But tonight, they wrote a new one. What unfolded in that royal chamber was more than ceremony. It was a declaration, of identity, of change, of love under pressure. By the end, we'll come to understand why this night will be told for generations. And how a single gesture broke centuries of expectation. To understand the shock, we must first know the players. Princess Leonor, eldest daughter of King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia, is heir to Spain's throne. From her schooling abroad to years of military training, she's slowly been groomed to carry the crown. Prince Christian, heir to the Danish throne, has his own regal path, his own expectations, his own traditions. Here, we'll dig into his background, upbringing, his role in Denmark's monarchy, his public presence, contextual side by side. Their trajectories seemed parallel, 2 heirs, 2 crowns. But until now, they had never appeared together in such symbolic, charged proximity. And certainly not in a moment so raw, so unguarded. Now, imagine a grand royal ceremony, golden light, velvet drapes, the hush of assembled dignitaries. You expect tradition, protocol, rehearsed bows, rehearsed speeches. And those arrived. But so did something unexpected. From the second the choir paused, something shifted. The audience leaned in. The protocols remained, oaths, applause, regal fanfare, but within them, little fractures opened. Leonor, in her crisp formal attire, accepted an honor, the Grand Cross of Naval Merit, awarded by her father, King Felipe VI. She had just completed months at sea, aboard naval vessels, under immense pressure and scrutiny. But all eyes flicked to what came next. Instead of turning away, she turned inward, to Christian. Their eyes met. In that split second, the air in the room changed. The king presented her the medal, the crowd applauded, but the real story was in their glance, the slight hesitation, the unspoken certainty that something between them had been bared. The cameras caught a soft tightening of lips, a subtle hand shift, a momentary tension in the shoulders. Not the scripted bow, something more, something neither of them fully anticipated. And when Christian offered a nod, not formal, not forced, the room felt caught in a breath it couldn't exhale. We ask, what pact did they silently make in that space? What forces were pulling them, public expectation, royal tradition, personal truth? Moments after the applause, whispers began. Observers exchanged glances. Some faces broke into awe, others into uncertainty. Queen Letizia and Infanta Sofia stood just behind, smiles controlled, poised, but perhaps grappling internally. The royal household, deeply aware of optics, must have felt the shift through every room in the palace. Inside, Leonor's heart would have raced. The weight of years of training, duty, expectation, pressing down. Christian, too, must have felt the line between princely duty and personal devotion blur. Outwards, the public reaction swirled. Social media lit up. Royal watchers wondered, was this a turning point? Did Leonor just seize more than a medal? Did she seize her narrative? Some critics would later call such a display risky. They'd whisper, the monarchy is fragile, public gaze fickle. Yet others would call it courageous, raw, real, human. Which leads us to a question, was this moment spontaneous, or years in the making? To answer, we rewind. Leonor's training in the Navy has been dramatic and intense. She spent months aboard the training ship Juan Sebastián de Elcano, crossed seas, faced real naval operations. Reports suggest she also participated in live-fire missile drills aboard Blas de Lezo, entering the nerve center, the bridge, undertakings rarely permitted to heirs. Her father awarded her the Grand Cross of Naval Merit in July 2025, during a ceremony in Marin, the first time the family appeared together publicly in months. This ceremony marked more than completion of training, it symbolized her transformation from sheltered princess to active heir. As one journalist put it, she will receive one of the gold medals of Galicia in a solo ceremony, without the presence of Felipe and Letizia. Behind that emergence lay years of whispered pressure, to prove loyalty, to embody unity, to withstand criticism. To be more than a maiden figurehead. Christian, in his own world, was also drawing nearer. He likely knew of Leonor's training, the scrutiny she faced. He would have had to reconcile his own path with hers, one foreign crown, one Spanish legacy, trying to protect both duty and desire. This night was inevitable, not because of romance, but because the roles they inhabit could no longer remain separate. Audiences were weary of gloss. They hungered for authenticity. And Leonor, bracing against expectations, reached for truth. Every gesture in royalty speaks. Here, the eye contact, not brief, not incidental, but sustained within ceremony. It suggested a shared assertion, we stand together. The posture, shoulders square, stance measured. Neither yielded. The timing, at the medal's presentation, when eyes should rest on the king, they flicked to each other. A silent realignment. The defiance of custom, never outwardly but inwardly, this is not just duty. It is life. By placing Christian in her frame, Leonor claimed ownership of her narrative. She changed a moment meant to celebrate military duty into one that also celebrated union, shared fate. These signals are small, but in royal calculus, smallness carries weight. We must hear multiple perspectives. From royal insiders, some view this as breathless, dangerous even, protocol loosed. Others see it as necessary, lifting monarchy out of dust, embracing humanity. From the public, monarchists gasped with awe. Critics bristled at impropriety. Bona fide romantics saw a fairy tale in frames of discipline. From the family, Queen Letizia, ever protective, might see pride and worry entwined. Sophia, watching her sister take ground, might feel pride or distance. From political observers, some might read it as a shift, a monarchy evolving. Others might warn, any misstep now invites scrutiny, backlash. We ask, which voice will shape the narrative in Spain and Denmark? The palace, the press, or the people? In the days following, photos circulated. Close-ups of Leonor's uniform, Christian's expression, each pixel examined. Diplomatic observers speculated alliances. Royal watchers scanned calendars for joint appearances. In multiple venues, like the Princess of Girona Awards in Barcelona, Leonor and Letizia, twinned, in style, coordinating dark suits, signaling unity and presence. Leonor's duties expanded, she was named to preside over major events. Meanwhile, criticism grew, some accused the crown of whitewashing via spectacle, especially in politically sensitive regions. But Leonor had already shown strength. During her oath-taking as she turned 18, she promised constitutional fidelity, an insistence on modern monarchy over myth. This moment bore continuity and rupture, continuity of royal function, rupture of royal distance. We must ask, can love and royal duty coexist when tradition demands separation? Is the monarchy strengthened by human presence, or weakened by vulnerability? Leonor and Christian's moment posed both a promise and a test. The promise, that monarchy can evolve, can feel. The test, that those watching will accept their humanity, even when it breaks protocol. Royal history is littered with love stories that turned to scandal, or protocol that crushed spontaneity. Yet this night may be where love steps into the frame without conceding duty. Tonight we return to our opening image. Leonor, awarded, poised, Christian, attentive, the audience holding that breath. What just happened was an overture, not an end. A crack in custom that invites authenticity inside. They didn't overturn tradition, they invited a new layer into its space. By centering Christian in that royal frame, Leonor quietly declared, "My life is mine, and yes, yours too." Long after the applause fades, the memory of clasped gazes will echo. Because this was not just ceremony. It was a turning point. A moment when heirs stopped being symbols, and began being souls. Open with urgency, pace fast for the hook. Then slow into narrative, letting key revelations land. Every few minutes, reignite curiosity. What did Christian see? What will the palace do? Use soft pauses after emotional revelations for weight. In the final few minutes, bring back the tension, the audience breathing, then release into hopeful closure.